Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, this video is going to be about the most effective technique that I have found for being able to influence the idea of our subconscious mind. Now, it's a book that I got this idea from a book that I read that was actually recommended by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and it was in his book, The Power of Intention, I believe, that he recommended this book called The Feeling is the Secret, and it's all about the idea that before we go to bed every night, if we condition ourselves for the feeling of what we want to feel and the idea of what we want to create in our lives, we then begin to change our life in a very powerful way. Now, what I want to do in this video is help you maybe understand it from a point of the idea of science. I'm kind of infuse an idea in here that helps us understand maybe why that's true, and then understand a process that we can do to get ourselves to that state. Now, let me first off just share with you guys that I have been doing this process for years now, and it's one of the reasons that I meditate the first 15 or 20 minutes of my day, and the last 15-20 minutes of my day every single day. I don't think I missed a day in like the last 4 or 5 years. And it's something I find that if I do it right in the morning, it like leaks into the rest of my day, to where because I'm observing my thoughts and I'm not reacting, it's like the rest of the day, if something happens, I'm more able to control my state of being rather than being affected by the environment. So that's kind of why I choose to do it then. But nonetheless, I want to explain this idea from understanding brainwave states. There's 4 main brainwave states. Now, the first one is the most alert state, which is what's called a beta state. Then we have a little bit deeper is the idea of an alpha state. Then we have a theta state and a delta state. Now, delta is the most we're asleep type state. Then we have theta, which is like very in between state. Almost we get there when we're in deep levels of meditation. Then we have alpha state. Alpha state we're in when we close our eyes or are thinking of something, or we are watching television. A lot of times we'll be in an alpha state. That's why it's kind of important to pay attention to what we're, consuming, because that is a little bit closer to our subconscious mind than our beta state. And then beta state is when we're doing things or we're consciously aware, we're very alert. Now, the idea is that as we go to bed at night, we are shifting from a beta state to an alpha state to a theta state to a delta state. Now, these levels and these states are closer to the idea of our subconscious mind. Now, as we go to bed, we're shifting through those. Now, if we can control our state of being and condition our body for thinking in a certain way, we then begin to have more effect over our subconscious mind. And then as we go to bed and we wake up in the morning, a lot of times we'll wake up in a similar emotion or feeling that we felt as we went to bed. And that's why one reason I like to meditate before I go to bed is because when I wake up in the same state. So when I jump into meditation, it's like I get to that state very easily. Now, when we wake up in the morning, it's kind of the same way in reverse. We are coming out of a delta, then a theta, then an alpha, then a beta state. If we control our state of being for the first 10 or 15 minutes of our day, the idea is that we ease into these different states, and then we have a better feel over the rest of our day. Now, not just that, as we are in that window of time for when we wake up in the morning, that is the most powerful time that we have to influence our subconscious mind. Now, the same thing goes when we're going to bed at night. As we begin to go down into the deeper levels, that is the time that we have to really influence our subconscious mind. Now, what can we be doing? Now, this is something that I do right when I go to bed. It's probably 10 or 15 minutes before I fall asleep, I kind of anchor in the idea of feeling gratitude for whatever I want to create or for whatever I already have in my life. And as I begin to focus on those aspects, I find that it's almost like I condition my body for feeling more and more gratitude in my life. And if I have certain beliefs that I have about myself or a certain self-image that I want to change, one of the ways I do that is I start to see myself in a completely new light. Imagine myself. How would I want and prefer to be? What would I feel like if I were doing the things that I prefer to do? How would I act? How would I move? And as I begin to sync myself with that version of me, and as I begin to focus on it, I then begin to feel as if that were true. And that's one of the powerful parts of visualization, is the mind doesn't know the difference between what we are visualizing and what's actually happening if we do it enough. And that's what I begin to do. So as I go to bed, I think about myself and I feel gratitude for what I have in my life. And I find that as I do that, when I wake up in the morning, first off, I feel that emotion more powerfully, but I find that recreating that state throughout the day is much easier because I've conditioned my body to feel it more. So that's really where the power is. If you can learn how to condition your body or condition your mind right before you go to bed, and you can feel the feeling of what you want to experience, and you do that as you're drifting off into sleep, and then when you wake up in the morning, as you're getting consciously awake, you begin to have more conscious control over your states of being, and you actually begin to create a better life for yourself. Now, simply try this tonight when you go to bed. Begin as you're falling asleep, and as you're getting into bed, begin to think about yourself in a new way. Begin to feel the gratitude that you have for the things that are already in your life. Begin to feel gratitude for the things that you want to create in your life. Begin to visualize yourself doing the things that you love to do. Visualize how you would react to people. What kind of things would you be doing? What kind of facial expressions would you have? As you begin to put detail onto all of these, you begin to literally sync up with it and feel the emotions if it were happening, and then you begin to let go. If you do it more and more of the old self-image that you had, you begin to start to influence your subconscious mind in a much more powerful way, begin to condition those feelings inside your body, begin to think of yourself in a new way, and watch how it profoundly changes your life. So it's something that I've used for the idea of finances, for the idea of feeling worthy. I just imagine how I'd prefer to be. I imagine the things I'm already grateful for, and then I begin to anchor that into who I am. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Alright, peace, much love, and namaste. Alright, bye.